Hello, everyone. This is Matt Hoots with Rated Green. And several years ago, I had a catastrophic event at my construction company at a place of business. And unfortunately, there was a water leak, and there wasn't a sensor on, there wasn't any monitoring. And unfortunately, our business, this happened on a Friday night, our business flooded, and all the businesses around us, it's actually our neighbor's business that flooded, and it kind of the water came into our space, and then it flooded all the businesses below us as well. Now, only if they had a sensor on the pipe could they have monitored this, and also somebody been called out to immediately shut it off to avoid a lot of the damage. Unfortunately, during the process, also wasn't the cleanest remediation, and there was some mold left behind. And I'm allergic to mold. That's why I'm in this industry, and I preach indoor air quality, and it affected my health. So all because somebody decided not to put a sensor on a pipe. It affected my health, affected my business. There was opportunity cost, and also there's a delay because we just had the inconvenience of flooding out. Now, Richard with Sensor Industries has a solution. Not only can they monitor leaks like that in commercial spaces, they also have something that can put a monitor on toilets to help you save thousands of dollars. Now, some of their case studies, they're showing, $80,000 plus savings per year. Now, in some markets where water is very expensive, it's important to have these kind of sensors, because if you're paying for the water, if you own the building and you have tenants in there, you're not going to have 100 different accounts for every tenant. You're covering the water. Now, it's very important that you monitor the water to make sure you don't have any leaks. One, because you don't want to have to pay for the high cost of having a leak, say like in a toilet where the flapper is leaking. And also, you don't want to worry about damage from water. I mean, water damage, each event, and again, as a general contractor, put my general contractor hat on, my clients pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars potentially if a leak happens on an upper level and goes through all the different floor systems. So having a system like this, especially in commercial spaces, is very important. So Richard's going to tell you a little bit about his company and give you some case studies and talk to you about how their product and also installation services plus monitoring, and again, that's the most important thing about this sensor, is monitoring is going to help you save thousands of dollars in operational cost and also deferred maintenance.
Hello, everyone. I'm Richard Lohrey, the Marketing Director for Sensor Industries. We are an IoT Internet of Things technology company specializing in water conservation and flood mitigation. In a moment here, I will present to you what we do and how we do it. So, one of the things that's very appealing when we meet with multi unit commercial property owners and developers is the fact that to use our conservation technology, not only will they save water, but they will also be able to increase net operating income and equity value. And the way we do this is through real time water leak and monitoring. And I'll explain how our system works in a moment. Mainly, it's toilet sensors, and most of the water waste in multi unit commercial buildings happens through toilet water waste. That's actually the primary culprit of water waste in terms of water appliances. And we're able to lower water utility costs by over 20%. So that's quite significant, and I'll show you how that adds up later. Toilets leak more than you think. In any given scenario, any kind of multi unit building, we have found through our research that 20% of all toilets leak. A slow leak can leak 200 to 250 gallons per day. An open flapper leak can waste up to 5,000 gallons of water per day. So multiply that by the number of toilets you have, and you'll see that that's literally a lot of water and money could be going down the drain. Also, tenants and guests do not always report toilet leaks. Sometimes they're undetectable themselves, but in scenarios like student housing, for example, and seniors housing, they might hear a sound that sounds like a leak, but they don't necessarily report it. So that's why the monitoring is really key. So the facilities director or maintenance manager will be able to find out that indeed there is a leak that needs to be fixed. Also, with our system, it generates a work order and it prioritizes it by the volume of leak. So, for example, if our technology finds an open flapper leak, that work order is going to go to the top because that's wasting up to 5,000 gallons of water per day. So also, let's say another leak that's 250 gallons a day has not been taken care of for a couple days, that work order is going to move up in terms of priority. Now, our other sensor, we have the toilet sensor, and then we have the flood sensor. And the average catastrophic flood claim averages between $20,000 and $60,000. And flood claims can range in the millions depending on the extent of the damage. More often than not, you'll have a leak that starts on a Friday when the last person leaves, and the employees come to work on Monday, to a weekend full of damage. So the great thing with this is that we can detect leaks right away in real time. We'll send out alerts, and we can also customize the alerts depending on where we find the leak. For example, in a computer room, if there's like 10 seconds of water flow, there might be an alert that goes out. In the maintenance room, let's say, where maybe they're dumping water, they're dumping mop water, there won't be an alert after 10 seconds because there's some expected flow. But if there's water that's still flowing after a minute and a half, then an alert will go out. So again, depending on the application, we can customize the alert, how often the alerts go out, and what the time duration is before those alerts go out. So what we have here is, actually, let me go to the right here. So here's what one of our toilet sensors looks like, and very easy to install. Now, we do have our qualified and trained plumbers to install these, just to be extra sure, but it's very easy to do. I've even done one myself and didn't screw it up, so that gives you any indication I'm not the most mechanically inclined. But it goes right into the water tank, and then it goes, and the flex line goes right into that. What you see here is a low frequency radio transmitter, and there's an encapsulated magnet. So when the water flows, the magnet rises, and that determines the amount of time. It basically catalogs the amount of time. So if that magnet doesn't go down, it's detecting what kind of leak that is. And again, this is a low frequency radio transmitter. There's a little CR2032, the little disc battery, that lasts at least 3 years, usually longer, and it's very easy to replace. You literally take like a paper clip and you poke the hole out, punch the battery in, and put another one in, and again, that's after 3 years. Here's one of our flood sensors, and basically with a single screw, it goes into the baseboard, and there are some other applications I'll show you, and then that's it. These are wireless devices. When we do the toilet sensors, we do include a new flex line because we don't want to put brand new technology into old flex line. So that is provided with the toilet sensors. And over here, you see the toilet sensor, the flood sensor. This is a repeater, and what we do is we put this into, let's say we're in an apartment complex, we put this into every fourth unit, and what that does is it strengthens the signal. Usually we'll put it behind a refrigerator. It goes into a standard outlet, and it has a screw here so people can't remove it. But usually it's out of the way, so it's not even seen by a tenant or occupant. And then this is our gateway. It's part of our proprietary SI mesh network, and you only need one, you only need one gateway per property. So see this building up here. Let's say this extends for a mile, you still only need one gateway per property. So that's a real advantage with that. So here are some of our flood sensors. We have the standard one that, like I said, goes into a baseboard, but we also have some ones with some different adaptations. This flood sensor is waterproof. So for example, if you put this into, like, let's say a pump room, and if a pump room leaks, I mean, that room can literally fill with water in a matter of seconds. You'll still get a signal firing because it's completely encapsulated and waterproof. We also have like a rope sensor here. This can wrap around a pipe, in walls or out of walls, and also can run underneath carpets. We also have a drywall sensor, so then we can detect water leaking on the insides and outsides of drywall. And again, here are some just different applications: under fridges, in bathrooms near toilets, HVAC closets, ceiling HVAC drip pans. Again, just a lot of different varieties of application. So one of the things that's very unique is we have an integrated dashboard, and our dashboard basically is very usable for anyone, depending on what your role is with the property or with the property company. For an owner, for example, may want to look at the overall progress and the monitoring. So like each of these bars, for example, is one building in the property portfolio. So see this big red mark? That means the maintenance person took a long time to fix that leak. There was a notification. Whereas here, oh boy, they fixed it right away. So this is sometimes, honestly, maintenance people don't always like this because they're held accountable because we're tracking from when the alert goes out to when the fix is made. So that's something that an owner may really want to see and take a look at. Facilities manager may want to look at some other information. Maybe track like what leaks have been doing, maybe during the day or during the week. And then the maintenance manager, for example, now will want to look at the work order screen. And again, this integrates, so you might your maintenance people may have like an iPad, and so it'll generate a work order. Again, as I mentioned, it will prioritize the work orders by the volume of leaks. So like an open flapper leak that we talked about, 5,000 gallons per day, that's going to, get closer to the top, probably be the top one unless there are other open flapper leaks. And here's just some interesting information. In multifamily apartments, 54% of toilet water usage is attributed to leaks. In student housing, that's 58%. Hospitality, 52%. So again, a lot of leaking, a lot of water waste happens through the toilets. So here's, let me see here. Let me just move my thing over here. Here's a case study, and this is a real apartment complex, one of our customers in Columbus, Ohio. 164 units, multifamily property, 328 toilet sensors, roughly 2 toilet sensors per each unit. So the overall hardware investment came to $21,980. MOS is what we call the monitoring as a service. So the MOS subscription fee, this is an annual fee, $78.72, and the installation was $4,360. So the total investment to get all these toilet sensors in place was $34,212. The annual savings, and I'll show you how that breaks down in the next slide, $87,492. Now, don't forget, in year number 2, you're not going to pay for the hardware investment because you've already paid for the hardware, and we have a 3-year warranty. We've had also our sensors out in the fields 5 and 6 years, and they're still operating fine. Very few have had any kind of issues, but 3-year warranty. So after the first year, you're not paying hardware and you're not paying for the installation. The only thing you're paying in years 2, 3, and on is the MOS subscription fee. So, but in this first year with the hardware and installation, the return on investment happened in just 5 months. So very quick return on investment, which is obviously very appealing, and that obviously also affects equity value as well. All right, so here's the way the bill broke down before. Oh, so what you're seeing over here is we installed the sensors, but we didn't take any action. We didn't put out any alerts. And the reason why we did this is we basically told our customer, look, if you can find the leaks without using our technology, go ahead, have at it. And so what you see here, see in the red here, these are where the leaks happened. Maybe maintenance found them, maybe tenants or occupants reported them, but this is it. Now, once we turn on our alerts, this is what happened, a huge drop off in terms of waterways. So see here all the high points. Now, as soon as leaks were detected, work orders were generated, alerts were sent out in real time, and that significantly cut down on water waste. One of their bills before was $21,722 and change. That bill then dropped to $14,431 and change. So the monthly savings was, over $7,200, which comes to the $87,000 annual net operating income increase. Taking into account a 6.5% cap rate, that added $1.35 million to the equity value. So depending on the cap rate, you could get even more out of that. Obviously, with the increase in equity value, that helps you leverage the value of that property for other loans, refis, obtaining other properties, that kind of thing. So that's something significant in terms of, and this is just from the water savings alone, just from the toilets. So here are just some of our clients have been very happy with what what we've done for them. With the leaks, I'll tell you, and I don't think it's on this particular slide, but one of our clients, it's a hospitality client, their insurance provider was going to drop them because they had the previous year 9 catastrophic flood events, and that averaged, I think it was $72,000 per claim. They put in our flood sensors, and they have not had one catastrophic flood claim since. What the end up is, we detect a flood, the maintenance guy goes up there, he's able to mop up the mess, but it certainly does not do extended damage. And again, because we're detecting it right away, not one catastrophic flood claim from that client. So that's something that is obviously that's going to help keep your premiums in check. What we have is we generate a certificate that can go to your provider and goes to your underwriter, and that can possibly reduce your premiums. It certainly shows that you have this flood mitigation technology in place, active, and that and let's say your provider says, well, we're not going to lower your claim. Well, when you go to renegotiate a claim with maybe another provider at the end of your term, you have this certificate showing what you're doing. So that gives you a little bit of a competitive advantage, and it might also just lower your premium with your current provider as well. This is just some of the people we work with: Wyndham Destinations, Pebble Beach Resorts, American Campus Properties. And again, we really specialize in multi-unit commercial properties, which includes hospitality, student housing, multifamily, commercial, and senior living. One thing too, we have a ton of data. We've been doing this for quite a while now, and we have over 4 million days of data. So, like I said, with this particular technology, we've been doing it, I think, longer than anyone else. I personally believe we do it better than anyone else. With our proprietary network, it's certainly very robust. Some other competitors out there depend on Wi-Fi, which is not as reliable. And we also have backup. So like if the power goes out, obviously you want to still be monitoring for leaks, mainly floods at that point. But we do have UPS systems, and then we also have some other things to ensure that you're getting monitoring even when the power goes out. Our customers are priority one. We're not just plug and play and then we, wash our hands of our interaction with you. Our account managers are really spot on. If they see that leaks aren't being fixed, they get alerts as well, and they will call the maintenance people and say, hey, we've seen that you've had this leak for a while, it's not getting fixed. They provide training, very interactive. And so it's not just, sometimes I think people have been hesitant to integrate technology because then the vendor's like, okay, well, it's in place, we're done, have at it. But we're not like that. That it's really important that our customers are using the technology we're giving them, because it's a tool. It's a very good tool, but it's still a tool that has to be used. So we're here to help with the training and to make sure it's being used to the best of your advantage. And together, we want to save over 10 billion gallons in 2022. That's one of our objectives and goals. So, thank you for letting me present this, and certainly open to any questions you may have. And I'll provide my contact information for you. Thank you very much.
Hey, we want to thank Richard for taking the time to create this content for us. If you want to learn more about their company, we've got a link in the description below. You can follow their profile on Rated Green. We've also got some other content that they've created talking about some case studies. Now, why is this a green product? Well, one, you're saving money. Saving money is green, and also you're helping save the planet. We are all worried about resources and especially energy, but water is a very important resource, and especially if you're looking at droughts across the company, especially on the West Coast, you don't really have a lot of water. So any water that you can save means that humans can continue to live in a sustainable manner.